Let's do this. My name is Paul Tapper, aka Cystic. I'm a music artist. I'm a rapper, first and foremost. That's been my passion since I was about this big, and that's my conduit for which I've been sent here and to be used for bigger things. I'm from the Mississippi Gulf Coast. What's funny about South Mississippi is if you're in the coast like I am, more specifically like Gulfport, um, it's very different from the rest of Mississippi because everybody sees Mississippi and they're like, bro, there's nothing out there. But there is something special about down here. It has a beautiful um, just aesthetic to it. It's got a vibe I feel like that you don't really find much anywhere else, and the scene here is beautiful. As far as me and my life, there's so much that I can encompass. I couldn't sum it up in 5 minutes. I feel like you have to listen to the album for that. There's so much that goes into who it is that I've become today due to my life experiences. I just don't think that's something that I could put together. Music's been a part of my life ever since I was like, I feel like from the womb. My grandmother was the introduction to me learning any music at all. I started learning piano from her. And I was like, what, like 7 years old? And from then, it's just kind of sprouted more and more into music. You know, I got so many different artists. I remember during COVID, I probably clocked into like 1,000, 2,000 something rappers on my Spotify rap, like on my personal that I listen to. And I'm very much a fan of this genre in every sense of the word, as much as a maker of it. I'm a very happy guest. This is everything to me. So, you know, from then I just started making music. I started producing on my little launch pad that I had, and I started writing. And from then on, it's like I probably wrote for 3, 4, 5 years before I ever put anything down on a mic. So it's very special. Hip hop's very special to me. Rap as a whole is very special to me. It's something that I don't really want to like. It's sacred. It's most beautiful genre in the world. I don't give a fuck what anybody has to say. There's something special about it that you can't find anywhere else. Be patient. Be patient. There's nothing more valuable in this world than time. That's the most valuable currency of all time. But with that being said, you have to be patient. When I first started, I probably it, my the path that I took going forward. There's no way I would have been able to know what was in store for me. And while granted, everything has been very planned out, very analytical, everything that we've done has had its steps and stones. Um, when I first started, it's like everybody, man. When they start music, bro, they think it's one way and it's not, and there's a lot more work in it than you expect, and there's work in things that you didn't even think you'd have to do work in. But nonetheless, I'm grateful for it all the way. You know, unlike a lot of people, I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have somebody on the inside. I didn't have somebody to show me how to make beats, how to write, like I did all that myself. I learned how to mix and master each song of mine from making like 1 to 2 years of trash, and then eventually learning how it set, like, you know, training my ear to mix and master. And for years, like I was thinking, like, damn, like I want somebody that I can mix and master with, but do it for so long. It's like probably did like almost 100 songs in 2022. You learn a lot about mixing and mastering, doing all your songs like that. Absolutely, absolutely. Everything I do has meaning behind it. I don't get tattoos. I don't change my aesthetic just for shits and giggles. I mean, all of mine that I have means something to me. Like, you know, this one's my mantra: purpose prevails through all things. I got 23 on me. I got cystic. I got the smiley face, which just tells me to smile through hard shit. I got this one, which means alien, because I don't feel like I'm from here. I feel like a fucking ET mongoloid. I just struck here to make music. The purple in my hair has a lot of different meanings. Same for the album. Um, but it really just comes down to my my third eye and the chakra that the color represents. It comes down to blending the red and blue in me, which I feel in a sense almost like on some Gemini energy, that I feel very split in my personality a little bit. There's some people that know me that think I'm very mature, very beyond my years, very whatever the fuck that means, right? And there's other people that think I'm a fucking psycho, that think I'm very immature and very just goofy and whatever the fuck that means for them. So it just kind of depends on where I'm at and where I'm feeling. Um, I pride myself on having, these contradictions within myself because I think that's what makes me human. But the red being the more energetic and fiery side of me, mixing with the blue, which is the more reserved, the more calm, the more, analytical, mature version of me, if you will. Um, it's just about balancing it and just acknowledging the two different sides of me. 23 goes into so many different things. 23 is, where the tilt, the axis of the earth sits. 23 is the number of creation. It represents godhood. It represents so many aspects of my life that I can feel. 2 and 3 make 5. That's my life path number. 23 actually is my life path number. Really represents the purple in my hair with being a number of duality. It's very misunderstood. A lot of people consider it an evil number, and I feel that. I feel that a lot. A lot of people think that I'm fucked in the head. A lot of people think that I'm evil, that I'm this and I'm that. And it's not the case. If you really got to know me, you'd see that I'm a genuine person. 23 is also when I'm turning this year. I'll be turning 23 on December 7th. And it just represents 23 years of my life that I've endured and that I've succeeded in, and 23 years of also just shit that I've encountered and I've dealt with that I got to undo. So that way, the generation after me, the kid that I raise, I don't pass that on to him. I have a responsibility to do that before I become a parent and before I lead all these other kids that are going to be listening to what I do. So I feel like we all should do that. We should all evolve. We should all strive to be better people. We should all strive to do better than what it was that we were dealt, and it encompasses so many sounds that you wouldn't be able to find just anywhere. And I think that represents me too. I'm a very complex person. This is a very complex album. This is a vulnerable album. This is not an album that, while it has something for everybody, it's not something that you can just turn on and just forget about your shit. It makes you look in the mirror. It makes you face your shit. That's what we're supposed to do. The divine in me is essentially what a lot of people would accomplish to God. And God to me, I grew up in a religious environment, but I've really grown more into understanding what God is aside from what a man-made label or organization has for it. And for a lot of people, they're going to be quick to point me as the enemy. They're going to be quick to point me as like a devil worshiper or someone that's not telling the truth or trying to spew lies, that shit. But nah, like to me, understanding yourself and understanding the spirit within you and knowing the divine past what a pastor or anybody else tells you. I think that's really what, if anything, what any spiritual practice or walk should encompass. I mean, if you're not really knowing what you serve and what you worship first and foremost without anybody else's opinions involved, then why are you worshiping it? You don't even know who you're talking to when you pray. I'm very, very, very in tune with my spiritual self. But I will not go with any religion. I will not label myself. The second I label myself is no longer about the divine. It is about me, and it's about what I'm trying to encompass. It is about me trying to take control of the narrative to fit it to my biased belief system. For me, purpose prevails all things is taking whatever purpose the divine has given you and fulfilling it to the utmost. For me, my conduit through that is music, right? And so, whatever it is that I have in this life, as long as I'm in alignment with the divine and I'm in alignment with what it is I'm supposed to do, every obstacle will move out of my path. It won't mean I won't face them. It won't mean I won't have to jump through them, but they will move. And it's the same for anybody. It doesn't have to be an artist. If you're a doctor, if you're a lawyer, if you're an accountant, if you're a fucking McDonald's manager, whatever it is that you're meant to do here, if you fulfill it to the utmost and you stay aligned with it, you constantly work towards it, manifest it, all the law of attraction shit that you see about, there's truth to that. There's 100% truth to that. But as long as you put yourself in those situations to keep fulfilling that purpose, it will prevail. And I'm living proof of that. You can use my life as an example. I'm living proof of that. It will prevail. This album is very vulnerable. It's the most vulnerable project I've ever made because it's me, like everything inside out. But it wasn't hard to really slip in that space, if I'm being honest. I've lived that for so long. It's like it's constantly. I'm not healed enough yet to where it's like I can escape it in my subconscious. I still deal with a lot of that shit. So it wasn't hard for me to go in those spaces at all, especially not, like a song like Suicide Note, where I'm literally retelling the details of where my mindset was before I went and took those pills and try to end myself. You know, it wasn't a hard spot for me to get to. And that's just being honest. One day I hope that I could say that it is hard for me to slip into that space. It may change the music. I mean, maybe that's just one of those things I just got to be blessed that I can still do. But, you know, uh, I think that with any artist, great pain creates great art, and great art is divisive. So, you know, the people that get it, they get it. If they don't, it's just not for them. That's fine. But as far as me and the music that I make, I'm going to make music that's real. I'm going to make music that has a message. I'm going to make music that has a point. That doesn't mean it's not okay. That doesn't mean like there's anything wrong with having fun songs, with having songs where we just talk about bullshit and fuck around. That's fine. But at the end of the day, there has to be time for you to know yourself and to find yourself and to focus on important things. And again, with Suicide Note, that originally was going to be the outro until I found the outro that is now the outro today. Um, that outro, it will all make sense at the end, was literally me having a moment where I wanted it was I'm just even trying to like remember the exact moments of it. That was during another time where it's like everything fell apart. And those are times for me and for anybody that it's like even though it's not the right thing to do, it's like it feels like the only option you have sometimes. It's like you don't really know how else you can escape that feeling that is dug inside of your chest. I had to go on a piano and sing and I guess almost freestyle lyrics of what I was feeling at that time. And that was what you were hearing was me going through the emotions of trying to be at peace with myself and sing myself out of trying to take my life. At that night, I wanted to do it. I really wanted to do it. And when I was done with that song, I had tears flowing down my eyes and I changed my mind on it. That's a cold place to be in. I don't wish that upon nobody. If you don't see what it is and the reason behind why you're going through the things you go through, it's very easy to give into that. I will say there always is a reason. There always is a better outcome at the end of every single situation that we go through. I will stand on that. But we're human, and that's why this music's important. It's because all those times when I was a kid And I felt that, without actually attempting, music was what kept me going. I want to give somebody that same feeling. You want to take your life? All right, let me give you life. Let me speak life into you. And even if it's not like a positive message, there might be a song like Devil in Me. It's like that's not positive in and of itself. But we can acknowledge but we can't turn negative to positive without acknowledging the negative. 65 Roses was that was a song that I don't ever think I really fully touched on before. I think a lot of people know that my name is Cystic and why I'm named Cystic, but um, cystic fibrosis and me growing up with that is not something that a lot of people really even grasp with me. It's like I feel like at this point people know it, but they don't even know what it's like to live with it. They don't. It's not something I really talk about. Um, and this was the first time that I think I've really wrote a song from the perspective of living with that in full, because it is something that nobody understands. It's a very isolating disease. It's a very hard to grasp thing to deal with, a situation when you don't know somebody with it or you haven't lived with it yourself. I mean, we're literally less than 1% of the world. We're one of one. Like you can't understand what we're going through. But the hospital trips, the constant IVs, pick lines, the drugs, you're not going to live past this, you're not going to live past that. There's so much that could be written on just that alone, with part of like why I'm the way I am, encompassed by everything else that we talk about in the album. No, I really just wanted to make something that can really feel, because there's not really a song describing that, in my opinion. Not that I know of. There's not a song that describes what we go through. So I hope there's some kid with cystic fibrosis wherever they are that hears that listens to it, and knows that we're not all that alone. We are alone. We feel alone. It's like you can be alone in a room full of 1,000 people, but somehow up here we're not. It doesn't make it any better that we can't even like be but 6 feet apart from each other. We can't even be in the same room. We can't even talk to each other. We're even alone from each other. Westside Boogie was crazy. Westside Boogie was a crazy moment for me. I met Westside Boogie probably like 3 years ago. It was after one of his shows, and me and my brother, man, we went out and we went out to go see him, and I got to see him after the show, and my friend, he had a vinyl, and Westside Boogie signed it for him, and then I got to talk to him. I remember speaking to him, and this is when I was still kind of like not making the music at the level that I wanted to yet, and I was still kind of in my beginner phases. Um, and I told him, I was like, man, I don't need a picture. I don't need nothing signed. I don't need no bullshit like that. I just wanted to tell you thank you. Thank you for your art. Thank you for inspiring me. I look to you the same way that you look to artists growing up that inspired you. And I want you to know I'm gonna do this shit. I'm gonna make it. And you're part of the reason. That's all I wanted to tell him. That was it. And he looked me in my eyes, man. He was just like, "Oh, bro, nah, bro. I hear it in your voice. You're gonna kill it one day. You're gonna do something crazy." And he gave me a hug, and we took that picture with my nostrils flaring, with the little West Side up, and the rest was history. I also got to meet Grip that night. I got to meet some other really cool people, and then about 2, 3 years later, what I think it was beginning of this year, that he hit me up. It was after the pop. It was right after the pop out show. It was after the pop out show that he did, when he went out, the Kendrick's pop out show that he did, and I liked or commented on it or something like that. And I guess he saw it and he remembered me, and he hit me up in my DMs, and the rest was history. We made something really special with that. He sent some footage over too, and I edited it to make him come out of the screen and everything. Um, yeah, that was a special moment. Everybody in my family was so excited about that. Even people that didn't believe in me, everybody was excited as fuck about that. That was special. Favorite song off the album was by far "The Sound of Trauma." "The Sound of Trauma" is artistically just the epitome of what I've done so far. While that's obviously not going to be the best that I ever do ever, I'm going to always try to reach that ceiling and break it. But for what it stands right now, that's by far my favorite song that I've ever made. I produced it, I mixed and mastered it. I remember I locked myself in my room, in my studio, for probably like 2, maybe 3 days. Didn't go outside, didn't eat hardly. I think all I drank was some water. I was so engraved on that song, and I locked the fuck in. And that song has so much energy in it that I don't think I can find anywhere else. I still tear up listening to it, even with it out and hearing it like 100 times. When it gets to the part where I'm talking about 23 this, 23 that, 23 of pain, 23, I still tear up because I can feel my energy when I'm rapping that. And the production on it's unique. Um, the the mixing on it was perfect. The sample on it encompassed everything that I felt. It's a perfect song to me. It really is. The hardest song for me to make, probably probably the outro, if I'm being honest. The Cystic mixtape series back in 22 was special because I've never seen another artist do that personally. I mean, even if they have it, I'm just not aware of it. Um, but that's really where I found myself, and I feel like I started to plant roots on who I wanted to be as an artist, and I found who I am as a person through music. I didn't know myself when I started music. I know myself now. I can look in the mirror and I can tell you exactly who the fuck I am. But it took all those projects and all of that learning and all those experiences to bring me to that point. All the different sounds that came from it, with like the first one being like old school hip hop, the second one being more contemporary trap, whatever you want to call it, right? The third one being almost like this super hyper production on some like Kanye, Tyler the Creator level shit. Um, and focusing more on highlighting my production as well as my rapping and being more ambient. And then the fourth being like horrorcore, right? And just saying the most craziest shit that I could think of, right? Just detoxifying all the negative in my body. I think I just hit the fucking mic. Um, yeah, there's nothing else like it. But I found myself through that. And from then, I took a very long time before I did another project, and I just did singles. And the level of quality is fucking insane. This is the first album where I feel like I really know myself. And that's why it came out so good, because I feel like inauthentic people have a hard time making authentic art. If you want to make art that touches people in an authentic way, you have to know yourself authentically. It's the only way to do it. And that's the difference with this album, is I know myself now. Because I know myself, I know what it is that I need to create in order to help people in their situations, just like, again, music has helped me in mine. There's nothing I hate more than an inauthentic person, right? And there's nothing that I can't stand more within this music scene, or really more specifically this genre, as somebody that uses this platform in an inauthentic way. I hate how so many, it's like we can address the elephant in the room. I'm very aware of my role as a guest in the House of Hip Hop. I have no ego or no type of way or feel any sort of resentment for saying that. I'm honored. Okay. I didn't build this house. I'm a guest in it. And I hate whenever other guests come into this and they throw around the rapper term like it's almost derogatory. Like being a rapper isn't being an artist, or being a rapper isn't a form of art on its own. Or they'll use rap as a stepping stone to get to where it is that they really want to go, right? I don't have a love for anything else like I do for rap. It's just it saved the fuck out of me as a kid. So who am I to come into this shit, not even owning the house in the first place, and then just using it as sort of like a business proposition to get to where like that don't sit right with me. And I don't fuck with anybody that co-signs that shit either. It's one of those things. Are you asking from a public perception, or are you asking from my own perception? Because of course, from a public perception, when you look at just metrics and the level that we're at now, while we are gaining motion, they're not going to think much because so many people nowadays people see music, they watch music more than they actually take time to listen to music and understand what's being said. So, from public perception, probably not. But if you ask me and the person that I know deep inside, absolutely. Because I'm always living 5 years ahead where I am now. It's one of my flaws because I can't ever live in the moment. But nonetheless, it's part of what drives me to go towards what it is that I know that I can go towards. And so back when I was fucking 17, 18 years old, I was telling everybody, I want to be a rapper. I'm going to go be a rapper. I released a project on SoundCloud. Everybody's fucking clowning the fuck out of me. And for all those years, people told me it was fucking stupid. But I saw something that nobody else saw. And now we actually have something that's that's beautiful and that's being cultivated. And that is it's like fuck the metrics. Like who am I helping? What people are being impacted by it. Like, and I can see that in real time now. I can see music helping people. That's what it's about for me. So being creative in a league of my own, sure, absolutely. And that's why I'm going to be great. Because I'm great now. You just don't see it yet. But I'm great. And how that translates to me is just seeing how the music impacts everybody around me. If I can help, you know, a million kids save themselves from suicide or self-harm or depression or whatever the fuck it is that they deal with, right? Then I've done my job. I've played my role. I can go now. I can die. You know, after that, that's what I'm here to do. But in the meantime, I have work to do. How else am I supposed to think? Never give up on yourself. No matter what any of these motherfuckers say about you, about what it is that you're doing, never give up on yourself. Always evolve, always love. Don't become the people around you because they became the people that was around them. Always go towards things that you know will benefit the betterment of humanity and the world around us. Never give in. Anybody telling you that you can't be whatever the fuck it is that you want to be. At the end of the day, we're all put here for only a blip, for only a very small, small moment. If we're not taking advantage of that moment every second to become people that we know that we can become, and for furthering and pushing the envelope of our reality, of the human race, of existence, it's like even just helping yourself, even just taking care of yourself, whether it's going to the gym, eating right, you're still bettering humanity as a whole. You're playing a role. So, whatever individual you have in your life, if they tell you that you can't do something and you know it's for you, you need to tell them get the fuck out of the way and push through that bitch and keep going. That's how you evolve. That's how you succeed. And that's how you continue to grow as an individual. I've heard somebody say before that being uncomfortable is the language of growth. Never stay comfortable. Always push yourself to be better. And once you get to a point of contentment, then so be it. Be content. But make sure when you are there, that you fulfilled your purpose. And if you've done that, then there's nothing more that needs to be done. Always strive for better things. Purpose prevails through all things. That's my parting word. And I do want to say thank you to everybody that has contributed to this. It means the fucking world to me. I think we're like at fucking 30,000 streams right now on the album, and we just went over 100,000 on the music video. So, metrics are metrics. It's whatever with that, but to see it in real time, that validation, it does mean a lot to me that people are feeling something from this. So that's it. Biatch. Cystic bitch.